Hello, my friends. Just some disorganized thoughts here. I just had some things occur to me. So, a lot of times when I will start to uh, imagine a scenario in my mind, I will feel something in my spirit stop me, like my higher self saying, "No, no, no, don't do that." And the collective that I speak with are often really emphatic about not running these mental simulations. Well, a lot of times the ones that are being run are negative things. It's like uh, I'm playing out scenarios that are based on a negative focus on some sort of concept. It's just a lower vibration relative to some topic. So, if for instance I'm holding self-doubt, then the sort of things that I play out in my little mental simulation are going to be they're going to be coming from a place of self-doubt. It's with that vibration in place, I'm using this ego-based intellect to just sort of project a scene and play it out in my head like a little movie. But what does that do? What is the fruit of that? It's not actually a good fruit that bears, because what happens is that gives, if you keep doing that enough times, first of all, it lowers your frequency overall. It just lowers your vibration. It just gets you into some negative thought patterns by allowing negative scenarios to play out in your head. You do that enough times, though, and it becomes a thought form. Okay? Thought forms are things that they're just thoughts that have been thought enough that they become a tangible energetic container, for lack of a better word, of their own. Like they sort of have a form. It's a thought that has a form that is something you can actually touch. It's a frequency, a specific energetic signature that you can tap into. So that's, if these negative thought forms like self-doubt, in my example, exist, then I'm going to play out some scenario in my head that's like, I'm imagining like trying to get a job or something, and like the person, the interviewer just doesn't like me right away, and just is like, I'm playing it out in my head, and he's going, "No, you're just not the right fit for this company," or whatever. Just using a really generic example, but that's what I'm saying is like self-doubt will cause me to manifest that type of a scenario. And if I play out that type of a scenario enough, guess what? That's the scenario that's going to play out in the physical realm. Okay, we know all that stuff. That's law of attraction. So the thought forms are the things that I'm focused on, though. It's, if a negative thought form can occur and can see, here is the problem, and here's what I'm trying to get to, is that this is basically the genesis of an energetic, what we would call a negative entity attachment. Like, in other words, a demonic, not not possession. That's a whole different thing. It's a, if you want to use a religious context, demonic infestation or infiltration by what, in the religious world they would term a demon, but in the more, I guess, spiritual realm, we just call it, they're just negative thought forms. They're just, like death has a frequency, destruction has a frequency, self-doubt has a frequency, self-loathing has a frequency. Anything negative you can think of, and these thoughts, there's like a bank that has been deposited into and deposited into and deposited into until it has what Vadim Zeland in the book Reality Transurfing calls a pendulum. It is its own energetic force now that exists only to get energy for itself, which means that positive thought forms are what would term as angels. It's like there's an actual thought form of joy. that you can tap into. You can put your frequency in a match, in an alignment with joy, in a harmonic relationship, and bring that joy into your life. So just as you can have these attachments to things that, by practicing in low vibration over and over and over, by thinking thoughts of hate, of isolation, you will attract a negative thought form attachment into your life. So here is the thing, because we live in this third density where there's polarity, positive, negative, light and dark, which is something that's sort of we're transcending right now in this transition. But these are things to think about. If you were to flip that polarity, would it be possible to constantly tap into, and of course the answer is yes, to constantly tap into a higher thought form? So if I have self-doubt and I keep on playing a scenario out in my head that is based on that self-doubt, and I eventually manifest into my reality that exact scenario, then if I hold not pride, but self-confidence, total self-confidence, and I feel completely confident, and I keep playing out the scenario in my mind based on that vibration, then that's what we get. So what are the children of the thought forms that you are giving energy to? I would rather put my thought energy towards something positive, towards something that is going to contribute love and light to my life, not something that's going to make me feel imprisoned or stuck or contracted or like less than. Anything that makes you feel fear or anything like that is not for you. Don't bother with it. If it feels right, it ain't right. Walk away from it. Protect your vibe. It's the most important thing. I'm speaking because I'm saying all this to myself. There's just some realizations that I had today that I feel like there's something more that I want to say, that it's a little bit too abstract for me to even really put it into words yet. But I will. I'll unpack it. Anyway, that's just a thought, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. I love you. Bye-bye.